The San Francisco 49ers have reportedly thrown open the vault, and the buzz around Brock Purdy has reached levels that fans and analysts alike are struggling to contain. Imagine the journey of a quarterback once known as the final pick of the NFL draft, the so-called Mr. Irrelevant, suddenly stepping into a spotlight that most players dream of but few ever reach. The speculation alone is electric, as insiders whisper about the unprecedented financial moves the franchise is allegedly making to lock him in for the foreseeable future. Purdy's trajectory from Iowa State to the 49ers has always been under the microscope. But now, with an extension that supposedly reflects not just confidence, but a near-obsessive investment in his potential, the entire league is watching closely. People are asking whether this is a statement about the team's ambitions, a gamble that could redefine their strategy, or a reflection of how they perceive the quarterback market itself. Rumors suggest that executives see Purdy as more than just a player. He might be a linchpin for their entire championship blueprint, and the sheer size of the rumored contract is raising eyebrows, debates, and even a touch of envy across NFL front offices. Sources hint that the 49ers' willingness to commit such substantial resources might signal a shift in how franchises evaluate talent beyond traditional metrics. Brock Purdy's story is compelling not just because he exceeded expectations as the final draft pick, but because his style, leadership, and on-field intelligence seem to resonate with the team's long-term philosophy. The rumor mill suggests that management views this extension as a safeguard against losing a player whose impact is difficult to quantify, yet impossible to ignore. Analysts are already speculating about how this could influence future draft strategies, salary caps, and even trade negotiations. Could this be the blueprint for a new era of contracts aimed at securing the intangible qualities of a quarterback? Fans are buzzing, imagining locker room dynamics shifting, team morale skyrocketing, and rival teams scrambling to recalibrate their approaches. Some insiders hint that this move might be about more than football. It could redefine the cultural identity of the 49ers, sending a message that they are willing to back vision with cash, and potentially setting a precedent that others in the league will feel pressured to follow. Whispers in sports circles suggest that the 49ers' alleged financial commitment is being perceived as audacious, bordering on bold, by those outside the organization. Brock Purdy, from a humble draft position, is now rumored to be the central figure in what many are calling a high-stakes gamble. The extension, if reports are accurate, reflects not only his on-field achievements, but also the franchise's belief in his untapped potential, an intangible element that few contracts explicitly quantify. The chatter indicates that insiders are closely monitoring how this move could alter negotiations with other players, potentially setting off a ripple effect across the league. Speculation abounds about the strategic reasoning behind opening the coffers so dramatically, with some suggesting it's an attempt to solidify team cohesion, while others hint at a more symbolic gesture, emphasizing commitment to a quarterback who embodies resilience and surprise. Fan forums, podcasts, and social media channels are exploding with theories, each more intricate than the last, imagining scenarios where Purdy becomes not just a player, but a cornerstone of a franchise culture that prizes audacity as much as skill. The storyline emerging from these rumors paints Purdy as an emblem of unexpected excellence, a player whose rise from a late draft selection to the epicenter of a franchise's financial strategy captures imaginations. Analysts speculate that the magnitude of this extension could influence internal dynamics, from play-calling confidence to roster decisions, as the organization signals their trust in Purdy's abilities and decision-making under pressure. Some believe the contract talks themselves might have involved complex negotiations reflecting more than just monetary considerations, with whispers of performance incentives, leadership clauses, and symbolic gestures embedded in the agreement. Sports media commentators are speculating about how rival teams might respond, perhaps feeling compelled to elevate their own quarterback contracts or risk losing key talents to similar financial strategies. The notion that one player, once considered an underdog, could trigger such seismic movements in franchise planning adds layers of intrigue, suggesting that the ripple effects of this extension could influence the league in ways that transcend mere statistics or on-field achievements, weaving into narratives of power, prestige, and perception. Beyond the numbers, sources indicate that Brock Purdy's influence within the locker room and his relationship with coaching staff might be a driving factor behind a reported extension. Speculative accounts suggest that the 49ers front office is betting on chemistry, leadership, and a quarterback's ability to inspire a team as much as on-field performance metrics. Analysts are weighing whether this move is a strategic masterstroke or a daring leap of faith, considering how rarely late draft picks command such a prominent financial spotlight. Fan speculation paints Purdy as a symbol of perseverance and adaptability, someone whose presence could redefine the team's identity and energize an entire franchise culture. Rumors hint that executives see him as a pivotal figure not only for game strategy, but for the broader brand of the 49ers, potentially influencing sponsorships, fan engagement, and media narratives. If true, this could mark a paradigm shift in how teams assess value, merging quantitative performance with qualitative influence to justify investment, a move that leaves other organizations both intrigued and on edge. Industry insiders are allegedly buzzing about the potential long-term implications of this rumored extension, with some suggesting that the 49ers are setting a precedent in balancing fiscal responsibility against the necessity of securing a franchise quarterback. Brock Purdy's rise from the final draft pick to a centerpiece of speculative financial maneuvers underscores a narrative that's part underdog story, part strategic gamble. Experts are hypothesizing how this could reshape league-wide contract negotiations, influence draft choices, and even alter the calculus for future trades. The rumor mill is alive with discussion on the potential for cascading effects. Players might seek similar arrangements, teams might adjust their risk assessments, and the concept of intangibles like leadership and resilience could gain newfound financial value. Fans are captivated imagining every practice, every snap, and every decision magnified under the lens of what could be one of the boldest franchise commitments in recent memory, fueling endless conversation about the intersection of talent, potential, and audacious ambition. Speculation is mounting that Brock Purdy's rumored extension could redefine not only the 49ers' strategy, but also the dynamics of the entire league, with whispers suggesting that other franchises are already recalculating their quarterback priorities. Insiders hint that this alleged investment may give Purdy unprecedented leverage in team decisions, potentially influencing offensive schemes, personnel choices, and even the allocation of resources across the roster. Some analysts are theorizing that by anchoring such a critical position with a player who defied initial expectations, the 49ers are signaling a willingness to challenge conventional wisdom, placing value on intangibles like poise, decision-making under pressure, and locker room presence, rather than relying solely on draft pedigree or statistical output. Fan communities are buzzing with debates over whether this move will spark a new wave of franchise philosophies, with teams considering bold, long-term commitments to players who may not have been seen as elite at the time of selection, yet demonstrate the potential to become linchpins in championship ambitions. Rumors suggest that the psychological impact on opponents could be substantial, with rival teams forced to account for a quarterback whose confidence and leadership are increasingly intertwined with the financial and strategic fabric of the 49ers, creating a narrative that extends far beyond the gridiron. The chatter around Purdy's extension also speculates on its potential ripple effect across the salary cap landscape, with insiders suggesting that the front office may be willing to reorganize budgets, restructure contracts, and make unconventional moves to accommodate the rumored deal. Some suggest that this financial flexibility could signal a broader philosophy of prioritizing stability at key positions over short-term spending elsewhere, emphasizing continuity and trust in the quarterback as the linchpin of success. The speculation is that such a commitment might embolden coaching staff to design playbooks and strategic approaches that leverage Purdy's unique skill set, reflecting confidence in his ability to command the offense and make critical decisions in high-pressure situations. Analysts are also debating whether rival organizations will feel compelled to match or exceed such investments for their own quarterbacks, potentially triggering a ripple effect of escalating contracts and shifting power dynamics across the league. Fans are drawn into the narrative, imagining not just the on-field implications, but the off-field drama, with front offices, agents, and media pundits all entangled in speculation about the strategic foresight and financial audacity driving the 49ers' rumored moves. Industry rumors further suggest that Brock Purdy's presence as a secured cornerstone could influence team culture in ways that are difficult to quantify, but impossible to ignore. Sources hint that the locker room might experience shifts in hierarchy and leadership dynamics, with younger players possibly inspired by his trajectory from a late draft pick to a central figure commanding trust and resources from ownership. Analysts speculate that the psychological effect of knowing the quarterback is fully backed by management could enhance cohesion, reduce internal friction, and even improve on-field chemistry, reinforcing the idea that success in football is as much about collective belief as it is about individual talent. Fans are creating narratives around this, imagining Purdy as a galvanizing force, someone whose impact extends beyond statistics to shape the ethos of the team, from practice habits to interactions in the locker room and media. Rumors suggest that this cultural shift could be a decisive factor in shaping the identity of the 49ers for years to come, potentially creating an environment where ambition, resilience, and trust are valued as much as measurable performance metrics. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The speculation extends to how rival teams might respond strategically, with some insiders hinting that opposing franchises are now forced to recalibrate their approach to match the perceived confidence the 49ers have placed in Purdy. Analysts are theorizing that defenses may study game footage more intensely, looking for weaknesses in an offense built around a quarterback whose skill set and leadership are suddenly being amplified by reported financial security. There's chatter that teams might reconsider how they invest in developing their own quarterbacks, weighing the benefits of nurturing potential against the pressures of market value and contract obligations. Fan communities are ablaze with theories about whether this could initiate a domino effect, changing the valuation of quarterbacks who may have previously been overlooked and potentially redefining the hierarchy of talent acquisition in the NFL. Rumors imply that the mere perception of Purdy's importance and the 49ers' willingness to secure him could influence opponents psychologically, altering how they approach games and preparing them for a team whose cornerstone player is rumored to carry unprecedented support from the organization. Beyond tactical considerations, speculation suggests that the rumored extension could impact recruitment, retention, and future draft strategy for the 49ers, as analysts theorize that the front office may prioritize players whose skills complement Purdy's style and presence. Some rumors indicate that the organization may view this as an opportunity to cultivate a cohesive unit around a quarterback who embodies adaptability, intelligence, and composure under pressure, potentially influencing decisions on free agents, trades, and internal development programs. Fans are imagining scenarios where the team's identity becomes closely intertwined with Purdy's approach, creating a feedback loop in which his leadership, performance, and reported security influence the behavior and mindset of everyone from rookies to seasoned veterans. The speculation also touches on media strategy, with rumors suggesting that this extension may enhance the team's brand, fan engagement, and even merchandising, positioning Purdy as a symbol of the organization's ambition and confidence. Analysts debate whether this kind of alignment between player, team culture, and strategic vision could become a model for other franchises looking to balance talent, leadership, and financial investment in a highly competitive league. Finally, whispers in the sports community hint that the broader implications of this rumored deal could extend beyond immediate competitive concerns, potentially reshaping narratives about underdog players and the value of resilience in professional football. Brock Purdy, once the last pick in his draft class, is now at the center of speculation that frames him as a potential transformational figure, someone whose journey challenges conventional wisdom about draft positions, expectations, and financial valuations. Industry insiders are debating whether this could inspire other late-round or overlooked players to demand recognition and compensation aligned with their intangible contributions, from leadership to clutch performance. Fans are enthralled by the story, imagining seasons defined by a quarterback whose security and status are rumored to empower not just his play, but the collective ambition of the team, creating a spectacle that blends strategy, psychology, and finance. Ultimately, the swirling rumors around Purdy's alleged extension serve as a captivating reminder that football is not only a game of yards and touchdowns, but also a theater of speculation, strategy, and the audacious dreams of teams willing to bet on potential over precedent. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.